If your Nintendo Switch is not turning on after a hard reset, you are at the right place. We have got some easy ways that you can use to fix this issue. Welcome back to Silicophilic, your go-to source for tech tips and fixes. Method 1. Charge the battery. One of the common issues why the Nintendo Switch is not turning on after a hard reset can be a completely discharged battery. If the battery is dead, the Nintendo Switch won't turn on even after a hard reset. Charge the Switch for at least 3 hours. You can charge the console directly using the wall adapter or use the dock. In either case, look for a charging indicator. Try powering on the Switch after the battery has enough charge. In most cases, this should solve the problem and start the Nintendo Switch. Method 2. Try charging using another dock or adapter. Sometimes the Switch will not charge directly or through the dock due to a faulty cable. Check for any dust and debris in the charging port of the Switch. Inspect the charging adapter and its cable. If you see any wear and tear, cuts, or damage, do not use the adapter. The Nintendo Switch won't charge if the cable doesn't plug all the way in or if it's loose. Replace it with a new one from Nintendo. Avoid using third-party chargers or cables. If the cable and adapter look fine, try charging using a different dock. There is also a chance that your wall outlet is faulty. Try connecting the adapter to a different outlet. If you are using a surge protector, remove the adapter from the surge protector and connect it directly to a wall outlet. Method 3. Detach the Joy-Con controllers. You can also detach the Joy-Con controllers from the Nintendo Switch console. Flip the Nintendo Switch over and locate the small black button on the top of each Joy-Con controller. Press and hold this button down to unlock the Joy-Con. Slide the Joy-Con up to remove it from the console. Repeat the process for the other Joy-Con controller. While the Joy-Con controllers are still detached, follow these steps to unsync them. Press the sync button once on each Joy-Con. Then press any other button on each controller to power it on again. This will ensure that the controllers are no longer paired with the console. Now, reattach the Joy-Cons. Slide the Joy-Cons back into the console. Ensure they are correctly oriented and inserted all the way. Your Joy-Cons should now be able to connect to your console. Test them to make sure they are working properly. Remember that the console must be powered on during this process. Method 4. Reseat the microSD card. Do not reset your Nintendo Switch with the microSD card installed, as this will make the card unreadable by the Switch after the reset. Remove the microSD card and perform a reset once again. Another issue with the microSD card could be data corruption, which is hard to identify. So, you can use the microSD card and restart the Switch. If the problem is with the microSD card, this will solve it. Also, make sure that the microSD card is compatible. The supported microSD cards are microSD up to 2 GB, microSD HC 4 GB to 32 GB, microSD XC 64 GB to 2 TB. For an improved gameplay experience, it's recommended to use a microSD card with a higher transfer speed, specifically UHS-I. Compatible transfer speed 60 to 95 MB per second. The higher the transfer speed is, the better will be the gameplay experience. You can check if the microSD card is compatible by clicking on this link. Method 5. Perform a soft reset. Sometimes a soft reset will start the Nintendo Switch. Before this, check if your battery is charging and charge it for 30 minutes to 1 hour. Remove the charging cable from the Switch or the dock. Press and hold the power button of the Switch for about 20 seconds. Release the power button to force the shutdown of the Nintendo Switch. Wait for a couple of seconds and then press the power button to start the Nintendo Switch as usual. Method 6. Perform another hard reset. If the previous soft reset didn't bring your Nintendo Switch to life, perform a hard reset. Ensure the battery is working fine and charge it for about 30 minutes to 1 hour. Turn off the AC adapter and disconnect the charging cable from the Nintendo Switch or the dock. If you haven't removed the microSD card, remove it now. Wait for 30 seconds after unplugging the adapter or charging cable. Press and hold the power button along with the volume up and down buttons for about 10 seconds or until the Nintendo logo appears. Continue holding all the buttons until the Nintendo Switch logo appears. As soon as the Switch logo appears, release the buttons. This will take you to the maintenance mode of the Nintendo Switch. You will see two options for resetting the device. One to initialize the console without deleting game data, and the other to initialize the console by deleting all data. If the screen doesn't turn on during this process, there is likely a hardware issue with your Nintendo Switch. Contact Nintendo service for warranty, repair, replacement, or refund. Method 7. Check the screen. If you have dropped your Switch or noticed cracks on the screen, physical damage could be the culprit behind the issue. In these cases, attempting repairs yourself isn't recommended. It's best to consult a professional or Nintendo support for proper repairs or replacement. Method 8. Check the backlight. A faulty backlight can also lead to an unresponsive Nintendo Switch after a hard reset. You can check this by using a bright light on the screen. If you see faint images, the backlight is the issue. In this case, you need to take it to a Nintendo repair shop. Method 9. Check if the Switch is overheated. Issues on the Nintendo Switch can sometimes be a sign of overheating problems. Make sure the exhaust vents are clean and unobstructed. Dust and debris can block airflow, causing the console to overheat. Keep your Switch away from direct sunlight and other heat resources. Low quality or third-party accessories might not deliver the proper power or cooling required for optimal performance. So, you should use official accessories only. Make sure you clean your Nintendo Switch regularly, including the Joy-Con rails and the area around the vents. You can use canned air to blow out any dust that has accumulated. If you are experiencing overheating during long gaming sessions, try taking regular breaks to allow the console to cool down. You can also replace the fan or apply a new thermal paste. However, please be aware that opening up your console can void the warranty. So it's best to contact Nintendo support if your Switch is still under warranty. Method 10. Book a repair. If the methods shown in this video could not fix the error, then book a repair at Nintendo's Service Center. You can click on this link, select your Nintendo Switch model, and then follow the on-screen instructions to book a repair. And there you have it, the methods to fix the issue when Nintendo Switch is not turning on after a hard reset. We hope one of these methods have worked for you. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more tech tips and troubleshooting guides. Leave a comment and help others know which solution solved your problem. Thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next video.